Travis is just very comfortable with, conceptually speaking, a big life, because he has one. And it's not one that he has reluctantly. He's very comfortable with it. First of all, if you ever would have told me that like the most meaningful relationship I would ever have would start with a man saying that he was butthurt.
Grab your popcorn and emotional support water bottle because the Taylor Swift universe is once again doing the absolute most. First up, we're diving into the biggest revelations from her end-of-an-era documentary, where behind-the-scenes secrets, bold decisions, and fan theories collide like a perfectly curated chaos playlist.
I've never had an alternate outfit for the Reputation section, not once.
Then, we're talking about how Taylor survived onstage fashion disasters with grace, grit, and zero panic, even when her outfits chose violence.
One time, I trip over the hem of my dress, skid the palm of my hand off.
After that, love takes center stage as she credits Travis Kelce for the loudest, most unforgettable Eras Tour moment.
I can safely say that was the loudest it ever got on the Eras Tour.
And finally, the vibe shifts as Kelce faces a tough reality back on the football field with Patrick Mahomes' shocking injury.
On a freakish play to see 1-5 go down like that, man, it was almost like it wasn't real.
If you thought you already knew everything about Taylor Swift and the chaos, magic, glitter, stress, and spreadsheets that power her universe, End of an Era casually strolls in and proves you absolutely did not. The first 2 episodes drop on Disney Plus and immediately feel less like a polished documentary and more like being led into a very well-guarded group chat. It's intimate, slightly unhinged in the best way, and packed with wait-what moments that remind everyone why Swift doesn't just run pop music, she operates it like a Fortune 500 company with better outfits. One of the biggest jaw-droppers is how the entire Eras Tour idea was born. Instead of some grand boardroom brainstorming session, it started as a quiet, slightly emotional thought spiral during the pandemic, right after the drama around her masters. Swift reflected on wanting to mark every chapter of her life in one massive show, treating each album like its own little universe. The goal wasn't subtle artistry or restraint, it was maximum everything. More songs, longer shows, bigger production, more costume changes than a drag brunch. She reportedly wanted fans to leave feeling like they got their money's worth, their emotional catharsis, and maybe a mild cardio workout just from screaming along. When the tour finally kicked off in Glendale in March 2023, it wasn't just a concert, it was a cultural reset. And when it all wrapped up in Vancouver in December 2024, Swift apparently couldn't resist twisting the knife just a little. Sources say she tweaked a lyric during her final performance to mark not just the end of 10 years, but the closing of an entire era, and fans collectively lost their minds in real time. Insiders describe her looking out at the crowd and seeing more than lights and phones, but millions of overlapping stories colliding in one place where everyone felt safe enough to cry, scream, and emotionally unravel together. Honestly, cheaper than therapy. Another wild reveal is just how far Swift and her team went to keep surprises under lock and key. Forget blasting music during rehearsals. They allegedly practiced at low volume like they were hiding from the cops, all to make sure fans couldn't accidentally overhear surprise songs. The extra effort was exhausting and borderline ridiculous, but also completely worth it for those viral, jaw-on-the-floor moments when a deep cut suddenly appeared mid-show. Swift herself reportedly joked that just thinking about the effort made her want to lie down, which honestly feels relatable. The doc also spills some tea on how choreography came together, thanks to a recommendation from longtime friend Emma Stone. Sources say Stone pointed Swift straight to choreographer Mandy Moore, who had worked with her on La La Land. That connection turned out to be crucial because Moore understood that Swift doesn't learn dance like a traditional dancer. Instead of counting beats, she reportedly attaches movement to lyrics and syllables, basically turning choreography into interpretive songwriting. 8 counts? Never heard of her. And while those sweet grounding check-ins kept her emotionally charged, the physical chaos happening on stage was a whole different beast altogether, because surviving the Eras Tour apparently also meant surviving fashion betrayal at the highest level. Swift spent a solid chunk of the tour dodging wardrobe malfunctions like it was an Olympic sport, all while smiling, singing, and pretending nothing was happening as thousands of phones zoomed in at HD quality. In a preview for later episodes of the docuseries, she casually admitted that some of the outfits were actively trying to take her down.
I've never had an alternate outfit for the Reputation section, not once.
One particularly rude moment happened mid-performance when she tripped over the hem of a dress during Ready For It. scraped her hand, and still powered through like it was all part of the choreography. The pain was very real, but the show must go on mindset was stronger because missing a beat simply wasn't an option.
One time I trip over the hem of my dress, skid the palm of my hand off. Wasn't late.
Then there's the now legendary gold catsuit situation. Her Roberto Cavalli catsuit for the Reputation era made its debut in Miami and came with absolutely zero backup plan. No spare, no plan B, just vibes and faith. If anything went wrong with that outfit, it was ride or die, literally. Somehow it survived the chaos, which honestly deserves its own standing ovation. Other mishaps weren't quite as cooperative, like the night in Rio when the heel of her Christian Louboutin snapped clean off mid-show. Instead of panicking, Swift reportedly leaned into the absurdity, casually tossed the broken heel into the crowd like a souvenir from fashion warfare, and finished the performance balancing on her toes as if this was completely normal behavior. Another moment that could have turned awkward real fast happened in Stockholm, when a strap on her blue wrap dress decided it was done with its job. Swift briefly paused, addressed the crowd with a very hold please energy, and fixed it herself, telling fans to entertain themselves for a second. The audience loved it, because nothing bonds people faster than watching a global superstar do a quick wardrobe repair in real time while cracking jokes. Behind the scenes, the toll of performing night after night in heels was no joke. Swift later explained how brutal it was on her body, especially compared to, say, football players getting tackled by linebackers. Apparently, the recovery routine was intense. Toe spacers, acupuncture mats, and every possible muscle-saving trick known to mankind became part of her daily survival kit, all to make sure she could still sprint, stomp, and twirl across massive stages without collapsing. Costumes weren't just fashion statements, they were survival gear. Sources say Swift credited one particular crystal-covered bodysuit from the opening Lover segment with giving her a psychological boost every single night. Wearing it reportedly made her feel powerful and protected, almost like armor, especially on days when exhaustion or minor illnesses tried to creep in. The feeling reminded her of performing the national anthem as a kid, that same mix of nerves, confidence, and adrenaline that flips a switch and says, "Let's do this."
This tour, I got to wear this very sparkly Versace bodysuit, and anytime I put it on, I could be like coughing from a horrible virus. I could be like stomach virus. I could be aching. I was constantly in a lot of physical pain. But when I put that on, I was just like, no, this is popping. I'm doing it. We're going. This was my national anthem performance outfit. So it was I'd be walking in, and I'd just be like, this is the one. If I got my look on, and it's kind of similar to how I feel about the first look that I got to wear in the Eras tour.
And if the outfits and physical endurance already felt like a full contact sport, the emotional highlight reel of the tour officially levels up when love literally walks on stage. Because somewhere between costume chaos and stadium-sized sing-alongs, Swift's most unforgettable Eras Tour moment had nothing to do with choreography or key changes, and everything to do with Travis Kelce popping up at just the right time. In the newly dropped episodes 3 and 4 of the docuseries, Swift goes full hard eyes while reflecting on the night Kelce joined her on stage in London, a moment that sent Wembley into meltdown mode. Sources describe the crowd reaction as feral, unhinged, and louder than anything else across the entire tour, which is saying a lot considering these shows were basically seismic events. Apparently, Swift clocked that moment immediately. She knew the second Kelce appeared that the energy had shifted into something next level, like the stadium collectively forgot how to breathe. She later credited him for triggering the loudest cheers she'd ever heard during the tour, and honestly, that tracks.
I can safely say that was the loudest it ever got on the Eras Tour.
Football star casually struts out, Swifties lose their grip on reality, history is made, simple math. What made the moment even sweeter was how openly proud she seemed while talking about it. She couldn't hide the sparkle when mentioning Kelce, clearly aware that this wasn't just a fun cameo, but a core memory moment sealed forever in Eras Tour lore.
I've realized that with this person in my life that just was the right fit for me, you can have the two passions coexist, and they actually fuel each other. Somehow there's been this dynamic shift with Travis because it's shocking how many similarities we have towards our jobs and how we view them and how we view each other.
Even Swift's mom Andrea reportedly joined the praise parade, pointing out that Kelce has a rare talent for making a whole lot of people very, very happy, which feels like the understatement of the year.
Travis Kelce. He brings a lot of happiness.
But the love didn't stop there. The new episodes also shine a light on Swift's habit of spreading the spotlight because, of course, she does. She gave a heartfelt shout-out to Sabrina Carpenter, who had her own major moment joining Swift on stage in New Orleans. Carpenter wasn't just a guest appearance either. She had been grinding hard as an opening act across multiple international legs of the tour, from Latin America to Asia, essentially earning her frequent flyer miles and Pop Girl stamina points. And while that stadium-sized romance moment had fans floating somewhere in the clouds, reality hits hard when the spotlight swings back to Sunday football and a very shaken Travis Kelce trying to process chaos on the gridiron. Kelce was still visibly stunned after watching Patrick Mahomes go down during the Chiefs' brutal loss, fully expecting his quarterback to just shake it off like he always does and magically turn the game around. That's been the Mahomes formula for years, so when it didn't happen and he limped off the field instead, sources describe the vibe as straight-up unreal, like someone hit pause on reality and nobody warned him. Kelce later reflected on how seeing Mahomes injured felt almost fake at first, because this is the guy known for playing through literally everything. Kelce sees Mahomes as the ultimate football warrior, the kind of teammate who absorbs pain, chaos, and pressure like it's all part of the job description. That's why the injury hit so deep.
On a freakish play to see 1-5 go down like that, man, it was almost like it wasn't real. And shit just sucks, man.
Kelce believes Mahomes is wired to fight through setbacks and come back stronger, because quitting just isn't in his software.
He's been crowned champion because he's battled through everything, and he's going to battle through this. It's the only way this guy is wired, man. He's a warrior, man. I'm telling you, this guy's played through everything, battled through everything. He's a fearless warrior when it comes to this football thing, and he's going to make sure that he comes back stronger than ever. And
behind the scenes, though, the bigger picture looms large. Kelce has quietly weighed retirement over the past couple of off-seasons, even if it was more of a should I thought than a full-on plan. With Mahomes potentially sidelined for a long recovery and the Chiefs staring at an uncertain future, that internal debate is suddenly a lot louder. The image of Mahomes leaving the field injured is now burned into Kelce's memory, along with the collective gut punch felt by Chiefs fans everywhere. That's all for this video, folks. We'll see you next time.